Alright, so what we have here is another little project that I bought and never did anything with. So the time has come that I think it's time to do something with it because I could use it. So what it is, you couldn't tell by the title, it's a Waypig auto sort frame, shell, contraption. What it is up in here, there's supposed to be a bunch of automatic air cylinders and stuff, and a computer brain in here and stuff. What I believe goes on, the pig come through, they get on that part of the contraption, it weighs them, and then it'll divide them which way you want to go. Well, I bought this at an auction without the automatics, and I paid more than I should have for it. I paid $100 for it, which I'm not going to use it for pigs. What I bought it for was the goats. I want a sorting chute, like a vaccination chute, sorting chute thing for the goats. For if I need to do something by myself, it makes it that much easier. I can round them up all in a pin and run them through or whatever. Maybe not so much right now, but if I get any bigger, it would be nice. And for the goat style one, I believe just this piece, because you can buy pieces and parts of sorting chutes and stuff like that, and I believe just the part that has the gate like this is like $500. So if you know, if I was going to buy that, that's $500, and I paid $100 for this, and I can use it for more than just that. Don't quote me on that being $500. It might be a little bit cheaper, but it's more than I paid for this, I guarantee it. And this is all stainless. I can leave it outside. Well, not all of it's stainless. This isn't stainless. And it's rusting. But I was kind of kicking myself because I bought this not last year, I don't think, the year before maybe, at the scrap sale that I was at this past weekend. And then in March, there's another sale that comes up. And they had like 3 of these there with the automatic stuff in them. And they sold for like $50 each, if they even brought that much. So, but this was the only one at that sale. But what my plan is, I got it in the barn because I thought I'd do some work to it, maybe try it out. It needs some repairs. That's cracked and that's broke. But I want to vaccinate my goats, give them some worm medicine. But thought I'd get it here in the barn. I need to make a handle for these doors that I can put on here. And I seen the way the automatic one worked. There was a bar that connected these two, and then there was a slider. I guess they tried fixing that slider that was mounted here. Well, it was on an air cylinder. The air cylinder was mounted here, and that's probably why that's broke. They probably had the air cylinder on there and a pig was pushing on it or something and it broke it. But I'm going to make me a slider deal and a handle I can push in and out with a spring that'll go back to here, or I can hook to a bolt here and then hook it right back to here to keep pressure on it. And maybe after I try that, maybe figure out a way I could lock it closed or whatever. And then I have to come up with a way to swing this, and it has this right here. So I'm thinking what I can do, I can bend me a bar and run it through one of these holes and mount it somewhere up here, so that way I can stand in the middle of this and operate it. And I'm pretty sure, I haven't measured, but I believe if I take this inner workings out, I can put my scale in it that I have. And what I would do if I took this middle out, I would, these bars I don't think will work, but there's holes all the way down there. I'd get me some metal strip and bolt into these holes, because I don't know if my bigger goat should fit in there, so I might not have to take it out. But this is mounted in there loose, so I think I could take and put my scale under it maybe, or figure something out. Because my idea is to eventually like leave this outside or something, but I don't want to leave my scale, so I want my scale to be removable. But them are welded. I'm gonna have to look into it more to see how these were rigged up to weigh, because I'm sure they had to weigh them. That would have been my only guess for what they were used for. Sorting pigs. But eventually, later on down the line, whenever I get a bunch of goats, I'd like to get one of them true test or true weigh scales. Get the load bars that go under there and then mount it here. But that's way down the road when I got about 600 head of goats, or even a couple hundred. Because I'd like to get into doing the dairy goat feeder things. I don't know what you want to call them, but get into doing that, and something like that would come in handy, running them through to weigh them. But for my plan now is just to use it to worm goats and help separate them, weigh them, stuff like that. So I got it in here. I'll get me some metal, rounded up sometime, and rig me up a thing, see what I can't come up with. But I think this side will be the easiest. Get a piece of metal, put a bolt in it, get something that piece can slide through, like maybe use a piece of box tubing, then get a little bit bigger piece of box tubing and weld it to this, and then that'll slide. And then for this, use a piece of pipe, and then take and put me like a eye bolt through here or something hanging down, and then an eye bolt here, and then I would need something to kind of hold it centered. So it wouldn't move. Maybe two springs or something. A spring with just enough tension this way, and a spring with just enough tension that way to hold it or something. Because you have to go to there. There's really no way to tighten that up to where it'll barely move. I don't know, we'll brainstorm something. If you have any suggestions of what might work, drop them in there, down there in the comments. I'd love to hear them. But I might play around with this a little bit tonight, see what I can come up with that needs straightened. But I did do a little workout here in the barn. If you notice, you might not be able to tell, but it's a lot cleaner to me anyways. There's not a bunch of stuff. There's still stuff out, needs put where it goes, but there's a bunch of wood and stuff under there, all this stuff. And look, that table's empty. You remember what was sitting on that table? All the parts for that H engine. It's on the stand, and I got all the other parts down there in a box. So that's out of the way. I'm trying to talk Dad into selling these rabbit cages. We used to do a lot of rabbits. Well, we didn't used to do a lot of rabbits. We had rabbits. We only would fill, I think at the time we only had 6 of these 3 sets full, which 3 6s, that's 18, so I'd say the best we had was like 18 rabbits at one time. But we had 18 stacks of these, I'm pretty sure. Dad, there's a cool story. I wanted a rabbit for the fair, so I bought 1 rabbit. We didn't have a cage for it. Well, my dad and grandpa left later that day after we got the rabbit to go get a cage. They came back with 3 cages, I think, in the back of my grandpa's truck, which were 3 stacks of these. So there's 9 cages. Well, they bought the guy out of cages, like 18 of them, plus 2 stacks that aren't, or don't have any cages in them. And then there was 2 longer cages that you could suspend, hang from the ceiling or whatever you wanted to do. And then it came with some nesting boxes, and every cage had a water bottle, every cage had a feeder, and each cage had 2 trays. But we don't do rabbits anymore. You can't make any money with rabbits. So they're just sitting here taking up space. You could fit 2 or 3 tractors there, a hay baler, a hay mower. If my all crop would fit through the door, it would fit there. You know, you could fit a lot of stuff there. So trying to talk him into selling them, pressure wash them, and send them on down the road. Somebody that could use them. Sold quite a few of them already to people that wanted some. My grandpa's got some. Sold some to a guy my grandpa's friends with. Sold some to a girl I know. So, but yeah, this is what I'm going to try to work on here in the next few days. I want, behind my goat barn, where the cattle panels are, there's a 10 by 16 area that I don't have anything in. I'm thinking I want to make that a sorting arrangement. I got them gates I bought at that sale and put up a little pen, and then some cattle panel, make like a sort and shoot area or something like that. Instead of just having this sit around, I put it on Craigslist for sale and I can't get any bites on it, so I might as well make it and turn it into what I was going to do with it. So anyways, there's another little video for you. I'm still in the process of editing the transmission videos. And them I'm not in any rush to get out. So we'll pick up on this project as I work on it some more and do some stuff to it. I'll probably wire brush it and paint it. Get all that flaky rust off and stuff. Get some stickers made for it. The way goat or something. Anyways, thanks for watching.